All right, we are back. We are we are indeed back. It seems like we won't be finishing in 30 minutes, but I think we are going to be close to that. So, what is the way forward? The way forward, actions and actors. So, first of all, we need to select a coach. Clearly, we have to select a coach, our coaches. We have to construct the terms of reference for that coach. And of course, we said that we wanted to include, things about the culture of the organization and make sure that the coaching itself doesn't erode the organizational culture. We want to look at duration of this coaching exercise, and we want to perhaps think about compensation for the coach or coaches. And I wanted to ask about whether or not we have any other related business in terms of the way forward. I know, Miss Brown, you will do a presentation shortly on work schedule. Is it work schedule?
The
Um,
work plan. Too.
Work plan on work plan. But we have any other related matters very quickly before we jump to the work plan?
Not at this time, sir.
All right, cool. So I'm going to escape this. I hope that I can escape it. I realize that I'm not doing so very well with the technology because either the computer is not picking up these things or these things are just not happening. I have pressed escape a number of times. It has not escaped it at all.
So you
Um,
need to create a
would you be,
presentation.
would, I need to what?
What you can do is to end
I can,
the stop sharing and then reshare.
oh, stop sharing. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's the option. All right, so I've stopped sharing. Yeah, it's gone. Indeed, it's gone. All right, cool. So I am going to share the work plan, and Ms. Brown, you're going to speak to the work plan. Let me see if this is it.
Okay,
All
sir.
right. Yeah, I am about to share. All right. Are you seeing the work plan? Yeah, I think so.
Yes, sir. I'm seeing the work plan.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So in terms of the work plan that we have outlined, we will look at the criteria in terms of the objectives, the action, the evaluation, and the participants. And we'll factor in the month of the year that we're going to look at. So for the first for the objective for January, our objective is to train coaches for the mathematics and science department. And in terms of the action, we intend to hire resource personnel, conduct training of senior members, and so on. The evaluation will, of course, include certifying coaches in line with an accredited program or institution. And for January, continuing, we have the participants that will consist of the resource personnel, HOD, senior members of the department. Now, when we come on to the month of February, the plan is to, in terms of the objective, the plan is to coach members of the department towards specific outcomes. Action for group senior and junior members of the department, as well as to carry out coaching activities. In terms of the evaluation for February, we're going to be providing weekly coaching feedback, and the participants that are going to be involved in this will include the HOD, senior department members, and junior department members. Are you following so far, sir?
Yes, 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 ma'am. I am following.
Members of the team? Okay, thank you. All right, now in terms of March, the objective for March is to coach members of the department towards specific outcomes. And the action involves regrouping senior and junior members of the department, as well as carrying out coaching activities. For our evaluation activity, we'll be providing bi-weekly coaching feedback. And of course, this is very good because you know that we want it to be timely in terms of providing feedback. Then we have the participants who are involved in this aspect of it in this month, we have the HOD again and the senior department members as well as junior department members. Then in terms of April, finally for April, we will look at, in terms of the objective, evaluating the effects of coaching on performance outcomes. Again, this will be very productive as persons will now be seeing what is coming out of the coaching and how effective it is. Our action for April is to conduct class visits once in the month and to provide a formal written evaluation of all members of the department. So apart from probably speaking to persons in person, persons will also have a formal evaluation that they can look back at, and we can also plan futuristically in that aspect as well. The evaluation for April will include analyzing student performance, analyzing students' evaluation of course. And then for the participants, for April, we will have the academic VP, we will have the HOD, we will have our senior department members, as well as our junior department members. So that would cover the quarterly work plan, the objectives, the action, the evaluation, and the persons who would be involved in this process.
A question though, the senior members, will they be evaluated at the end in April, for example? Will the senior department members be evaluated as well?
I do believe that in conducting our work plan and in terms of an evaluation exercise, yes, you want to include not only junior members of the department, but senior members as well, because you want to ensure that everybody has access to some form of feedback. So I
Yes,
think that is
yes,
an important part of the process.
absolutely. And I noticed that the VP, the academic VP, is involved
Yes,
in this last month.
yes, that's a
Um,
difference right there.
all right, cool. So you will speak to the the people who are going to be doing the different things in the department as well.
Okay, so in
So,
terms of,
yeah, what are those
do you
areas
want
that
me to
we?
go into that now,
Yeah,
sir?
man, I need you to go into that now because we have to wrap up
Right. So
very shortly.
in terms of assigning tasks, there are a
What
number
are the
of,
broad areas that you have for these assignments?
okay, so um
And this is
we
in
have
line with the quarterly meeting, right? The meeting that is coming up in January or the
yes,
end of December.
yes. So we are
Okay,
basically going to look at the responsibilities of individuals of the team,
okay, cool.
or the responsibilities of individual team members.
Yes,
All right. So in terms of the assigned tasks, we want to determine the meeting date,
right,
and we also want to secure the venue. I believe
right.
that Mr. Ambrose has been selected to
Okay,
deal with. Of course, we would have already determined our meeting date going forward, and
yes.
Mr. Ambrose will ensure that the venue is secured. Um, I was thinking that we could have used uh, a hotel, but I think that we had settled on in terms of the
Yeah. I
decision.
mean, if the hotel is going to be used, we have to think of a bigger budget. I'm not sure the institution is going to be willing to provide that budget at this time.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
So as planned, we'll go ahead with using the
Hmm.
large conference room, I believe it was.
Hmm.
All right. So the next task that we have in terms of assigned tasks, we know
Hmm.
that the letters are to be emailed to the HODs, and of
Right,
course, you,
right,
Mr. Chairman, will be taking
right.
care of that.
I'll take that on. Uh-huh.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
right. Hmm.
We also want to ensure that we secure the multimedia projector and whatever else um, whatever other technology we are going to need in terms of
Mm-hmm.
ensuring that presentations run smoothly. And we also need to ensure that we have adequate number of tables and chairs and
Mm-hmm.
that they are arranged in a particular format. So Mr. McDonald has been assigned that task.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Then then we will look at catering as well. I do believe that we had we're going to be looking at the buffet style, and so we would liaison with Miss Vidal. Miss Vidal will be in charge of that, making sure that we
Are
cover
we going to
table.
use the canteen staff?
Yes, Miss
Okay,
Vidal will
good.
liaison with the canteen
Mm-hmm.
staff to ensure that we have smooth running in that particular area.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, our team members are going to be providing feedback as we continue to execute. All right, then finally of
Mm-hmm.
we have the gifts for the presenters. So we have to think of our baskets and tokens, and
Mm-hmm.
Miss Birch is going to be in charge of that aspect. So she will liaison with the bursar and members of our budget team in terms of finalizing what exactly we will be um the gifts that or the tokens that we will be making to our presenters. So that would wrap up the assigned tasks
Right.
that we
I
have
didn't
in.
hear one thing though. I didn't hear the hiring of this resource person because clearly um we have to decide on a name and we have to decide on an institution and we have to decide on things like the kind of coaching that is going to be provided so
Mhm.
that our members, our senior members can get some kind of a certification for
Okay,
participating.
sir.
And the budget, well, we have to kind of hear from the once we wrap our heads around it and we get some names, we have to call and see if we can, get a budget if the person, is going to require
Okay, sir.
payment and we have to liaison with the bursar. I will take on the going to the bursar with
That
that
activity.